Hello, Brobs. We're back with more books. This is New Book Arrivals number 204. And there's our train, friends. Yeah. Got quite a few books today. Let's get on with this. The Wonderful Fashion Doll. This is quite a valuable book in the $100 to $150 range, which is why I've placed a Mylar jacket on it. It's a 1953, I think, Harcourt brace, is it? Houghton Mifflin. 1953 by Laura Bannon. Even with the jacket in its somewhat tattered state, although the Mylar makes it look much nicer. It's still worth $100 and some bucks. I'm gonna sell this one just because I have no interest in the book. Maybe I can read it on the channel before I sell it, though. If it's never been, since it's rather scarce and expensive, maybe I will read it before I get rid of it. Be a nice little Christmas present for somebody. The Devil in the Shape of a Woman. Witchcraft in Colonial New England. I have a copy over there on that bottom shelf right there. But this is a different edition. So I was getting it regardless. Like, these witch books always draw me in. So I was getting it anyways. Obviously, you know what the witch trials were in New England. Pardon. The Hornbook Magazine, June 1956, of books and reading for children and young people. Found this at a thrift store for 60 cents. Hopefully it doesn't rip off the decorative trim or the font below, but something tells me it's going to. It really irks me if it does. I hate when they do stuff like this. I mean, they just have no comprehension that, hey, maybe this is a collector's item. We shouldn't put a fucking sticker on it, but whatever. I never checked to see what the color of the day was. So I might have got a discount on one of these books that I bought today. Yeah, I pulled off some letters, whatever. It's to be expected. Hate these motherfuckers. Of course, I looked this up, and this publication is still in print, meaning that it's still alive and operational. And thus, each back issue, is worth some money. It's probably worth 10 or 15 bucks. And since I'm not going to, I've never seen a copy of this before, and I may keep it just to keep it. I like the name Hornbook because Hornbooks were some of the first books along with playing cards. Plus it has the stamp from released by the Detroit Library. That's always nice. So I'll put that aside. This one I just picked up before I went to the grocery store. There's a thrift store. Well, there's two thrift stores there, but I went to the one earlier and then this one later because I need steps. So I went shopping. This is the first edition of Like Water for Chocolate, a novel in monthly installments with recipes, romances, and home remedies. Wasn't there a movie with Johnny Depp that, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, this has some value as a first edition. Otherwise, I don't really care about the book. Good luck. I don't know what this sticker is, but hopefully it peels off without any incident. Something tells me it will not. Why do I have to deal with stickers everywhere? Stickers, bastards. It's coming off, buddy. At least some. It's gonna come off without incident. This is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, bruv. Dante Alighieri, The Divine Comedy. Obviously a Barnes & Noble reprint with the gilded edges and all that stuff. I don't know how many different translations there's been. Probably 100 at least. Oh, this is the Longfellow translation, which makes sense because it's probably long out of copyright, so they can probably print it for free without any legal bindings. Very nice. I like these faux leather. There's a little chip on the top there, but that's okay. Paid $2. I don't like to pay $2 for books, but this is a rare occasion. I like these Barnes & Noble reprint pseudo faux leather kind of deals. I found about 4 or 5 of these so far, so it's nice to have. Nice. This pile's gonna collapse. I can feel it. Shoes. Andy Warhol, the autobiography of LSB Shoe. Like his book Cats, this one has some value. I mean, it's a fucking ridiculous book, but for whatever reason, it has some value. But I paid $1 for it. I probably could have waited till the half off sale, but I was like, don't be a cheap bastard, Bob. Just get it. Just get it, buddy. No, I'm not getting into this. I'm fucking peeling this. The cashier at the veterans store gave this one the hairy eyeball. It's obviously QAnon, An Invitation to the Great Awakening by WWG1WGA. Whatever that signifies. I probably should know, but I don't. This book has some value. I may sell it because I feel like I like that, how they put little newspaper articles in there. Something tells me this book's going to lose its value and then never be worth anything again, but thought that about the Joe Biden signed book of Please Dad, or whatever the fuck it was called, that I sold for $10 after I had it listed for 6 months for $50 and or whatever, and now it's worth hundreds and people are regularly buying it. So maybe I'll just hold on to it. When I first walked up in the veteran store to the hardcover, because there's a hardcover rack, which is probably 50 to 100 books across, maybe 50 times about 6 shelves. First thing I saw was this on the floor. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then after finding this book, I knew exactly what it was. The Winter of All Discontent. I didn't look it up. I mean, where else can I get a Steinbeck and a jacket for $1? Oh, there goes the spine. Just a piece of the spine just fell off. Good luck picking it up without wrecking it. That's why pieces are falling off everywhere. I'm gonna have to grab a jacket from something else and put it on there. Can't preserve that. What can you preserve, bruv? Blood Canticle by Anne Rice, obviously. I checked my libib and saw that I had it, but I was like, alright, maybe it's signed. And sure the fuck enough, I opened it up. What the hell is this? Somebody's hair stuck to a piece of fucking nose drizzle. And sure enough, for Letitia from Anne Rice. So that's nice. Never read a single chapter of Anne Rice, although I did start reading one of her A.N. Roquelaure books to see how bad they were, and it was fairly bad. But I've never read any Anne Rice, though I have many of her books now. Quick Guide to Spirits, including whiskeys, gin, vodka, rum, brandy, liqueurs, and cocktail recipes. Obviously, I wouldn't have got it if it didn't have the little ghost serving some alcohol. People have this listed for like $75 on eBay, but I have my doubts that it's ever selling for that much. But it's a novelty item with the ghost on the cover. So you never know. Maybe it will sell. I don't know if I'm going to list it, but I've got so many books to list that I just haven't told myself I wasn't going to do any of these stickers tonight. Considering I'm 12 minutes into this already, and I've got a shitload of books to go, I will stop. There you go. You peeled off a piece of the fucking letter, dummy. Now you got goo on your fingers. Alright, that's the last sticker I'm peeling. Don't allow me to do anymore. Or is that just sticker residue? This sticker residue you didn't reckon. Horn book. Let's check to see if there's any other little illustrations of like ghosts. Not like ghosts, but ghosts. No. So that's a nice little novelty book. Get this sticker off my finger. And To Each Season by Rod McEwen. I definitely shouldn't have got this one. And then once I opened it, sometimes that's what happens with old 50, 60-year-old books. They just break when you open them fully. Rod McEwen, of course, is the worst poet that's ever probably existed, who had major following. Home again, I pulled the shade and got down from the bureau, my Sunday school coloring book. Having chewed my brown Crayola just the day before, I had no choice but to color Jesus Christ's hair yellow. What do you say about something like that? That's some butter churn bullshit right there. Selected translations by Ted Hughes. Ted was a pretty good writer. Not as good as his wife, Sylvia Plath, but ones that ever stopped anybody from writing anyway. He was a peculiar dude who supposedly had really bad dandruff, and obviously was a womanizer. But yeah, I pick up most Ted Hughes books I see. Secrets of the Flesh, A Life of Colette. I probably could have got this at the half off sale when it came up, but I just said fuck it. I was out, and I figured I'm not going to go out tomorrow. So whatever I get today will be what I get, and I probably got about 30 books. As I've stated before, I thought Colette was just the name of some dude, his last name. Wait, was she like a real whore? Colette in her dressing room at the Bataclan, where she was playing in Le Chat Amoureuse. Musadora was starring in a different act of the same review. Crazy. I like Musadora. Oh, there's her boob. Colette burying her lovely left breast in Le Char. First performed in 1907 and revived profitably for the next 4 years. Her lovely left breast. I don't really know anything about Colette, even though I have 3 or 4 books on her now. As I said, I thought it was a dude name, and that was his last name, Colette, but obviously What was her first name? Or is Colette her first name? Literally know nothing about her. What was her first name? She just has one name. Was she like Madonna? Claudine. I ain't got time to figure it out. Secrets of the Flash. Cornerstones, A History of Canton Township Families. Diane F. Wilson, who signed this paper. Not the paper, but the book. This is an important book. There she is right there, Diane Wilson, author of Cornerstones of Canton. This is an important book for local history, and actually, I've been looking for this book for quite a while, and I almost bought it for like 50 or 60 bucks on eBay, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. But there's a family in here that I am researching. There they are, the Knapp family. 201. I found a cache of their family's goods at a Dearborn sale. If you know where Dearborn is, if you don't worry about it. Another suburb of Detroit. And I have old photographs of some of these people. This guy right here. Where is he? That's Alonzo Knapp right there. He figures prominently in those photos, so now I have the book, which is nice. And I can, maybe this will be the impetus that gets me back to researching that family. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. 4th copy of this I have. Nice, very nice paperback. Got it for $1. Nothing great. But, yeah. I've explained my Tartisms. So, that's nothing to discuss further. Isaac Asimov's Guide to Shakespeare. Another $2 book from the library. This book generally goes for $20 to $30. Even in this shape, which is moisture exposured on some of the pages, but where else are you going to find this book for $2? So there we go. Another $1 book from the library. I could probably get 20 or 30 books, not 20 or 30, probably 10 every time I go to the library that I go to, which is near the thrift store, which is really good. Gotta get most of my books, but since they've raised their prices to $1 for paperback and $2 for hardcover, I'm pretty selective, and this one is a $15 book, so I got it for $1. It was worth it. Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio. I don't know if this is about ghosts and stuff, but yeah, ghostly city appears out of nowhere and a heartless daughter-in-law is turned into a pig. Sounds like good stuff, buddy. What other book did I get? Oh, that Cornerstones. The House of Gucci. A sensational story of murder, madness, glamour, and greed. Picked it up for the murder part since me mother likes the true crime, but I don't know if there's actually a true crime. Actually, it says there's a murder involved, so there we go. I didn't look up see if it was worth anything, but this was a 50-cent book at the thrift store, as was this. Got a couple, I think 3 Jennifer Armentrout books, maybe 4. Somebody must have got rid of a collection of her works because I've been picking them up recently. They got some decent value, so I'm trying to sell. Probably going to sell all of them. I don't have any intention of collecting or reading them, so. Off these These are part of the, yeah, they are 2 Lux novels. Opal and Origin, both by Jennifer Armentrout. Thought they said something about being teen, so this is kind of a weird topic for teens, but maybe it's not for teen. Entangled teen, maybe it's for 19-year-olds. Both in good shape. I will sell them, obviously. Not my kind of scene. I think there may be one more of these in there. It's pretty shocking how many good books are at these sales. And here's another, The Black Church, This Is Our Story. This Is Our Song by Henry Louis Gates Jr. From the New York Times best-selling author of Stony, The Road, and one of our most important voices on the African-American experience, comes a powerful new history of the Black Church as a foundation of Black life and driving force in the larger freedom struggle in America. It's only a couple of years old. I think 2022. 2021. It's worth $15-20, so this I may keep or sell. I don't know. Do have a good collection of Black studies, history, etc. Nazi Games, The Olympics of 1936 by David Clay Large. Or is it Largy? I don't know what it is. But, as I said, I'm somewhat burnt out on books on the Holocaust and the Nazis, but this one has some value, so I grabbed it. I think it's rather... No, it's not recent. It's 2007, so not sure why it's retained its value, but maybe it's an more obscure subject. Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses. It's in pretty damn good shape, but save for this, the Border Trilogy, All the Pretty Horses. Whatever somebody wrote in it, so nothing substantial. And the books are worth only about $5 or $6, but as I've stated, $5 or $6 for 50 cents is a great trade up. Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. The Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Agnes Nutter, which obviously Gaiman has suffered some ignominy. Ignominy? Is it ignominy or ignominy? For his accused sexual exploits, where he's accused of assaulting women. I never liked the guy myself, but it didn't show up on my Libib, so I must have different copies of this. Because I know I have at least one copy of it in some form or the other. In Our Time by Ernest Hemingway. These are early short stories of Hemingway. And might have it, might not have it, but now I have it again. It's got its original 1982 Walden Books receipt, which is nice. $3. Wait. Oh, he gets $2 change. $3. R.L. Stine. Truth or Dare. Slowly picking up R.L. Stine books for resale purposes or bookstore purposes, whatever comes first or last, or first and last and always. Every Frenchman Has One by Olivia de Havilland. Not sure what she's talking about, but the most important look for women is to have the sexy look. How does a girl look sexy without sexy? I'm assuming that this woman was an actress, right? Yes, for a role into Each His Own and the Heiress. It's a reprint of whatever year the book first came out, 1950s. Shakespeare's Best, a memorable words from the great poems and plays. And within this book was not this, but I found it in a book, The Buddha Within. So I'm going to have to do a cartomancy reading since I found a 3 of club. We'll see what my fortune for today is. It's a nice little ring. Listen to that. Martin Gardner, perplexing puzzles and tantalizing teasers. Since Ellie McCullough, that girl, mentioned conundrums, I've been finding conundrum books at the store. Martin Gardner's obviously a mathematician. I don't know if he's still alive. I assume he is. And he was also a skeptic of the paranormal. And that's how he knew Marcello Truzzi. And that's how I know of him. Some good creaks out of this chair tonight. Grimm's Fairy Tales, just a little cheap paperback copy from the 60s. Wonder Books, 1963. Nothing great, but I like the cover, so. Vonnegut, A Man Without a Country. Used to have this book. I must have sold it. I may have actually had a signed copy of it at some point, but I don't know. There's no reason good can't triumph over evil. If only angels will get organized along the lines of the mafia. Never found this guy particularly funny, but don't hate him either. But not a particular fan. You Sound Like a White Girl, The Case for Rejecting Assimilation by Julissa Arki. I don't know who she is, but when I looked it up on, what's that fucking place called? Thrift Books, it said they would pay me $2.50 for it, so I picked it up for 50 cents. I'm going to resell it to them for $2.50 since it's not worth that much on eBay, probably $5 at the most. It's better just to not go through shipping or any of that bullshit and make nothing, or just make $2 since I paid 50 cents for it. Got this book, China's Long March, 6,000 Miles of Danger, mainly because Gene Fritz signed it for the Borders Bookshop, which knows how to promote books, which is funny since they went out of fucking business. They did know how to promote books, but then they got stupid. I don't know if this book has any value, but China's Long March, I believe, is... I can't remember why it was a long march. There is another, I believe, Barnes & Noble book, not as quite ornate as the Dante Alighieri book, but good enough. The Jungle Book by Kipling. Is that a nude person? Okay. And the last $3. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. It's bloody heavy, bruv. Rome and Her Enemies, an empire created and destroyed by war. War, she's a whore, as the cult told us. Obviously, probably not a very valuable book, since it's one of these half coffee table books, which is basically just pop-up history. But for 50 cents, it's worth it. And this guy, whoever he was, put the little stickies in there. And I guess it's better than notating books, but in every book I've found that he previously owned, there's these stickies throughout the books. Agatha Christie, The Bedside, Bathtub, and Armchair Companion. Edited by Dick Riley and Pam McAllister. Obviously, it is what you'd expect, just different tidbits and stuff about Agatha Christie, who I've started collecting over the years just because she has some interesting mass market paperbacks. The hardcovers obviously original hardcovers are hard to find, and you know, the routine every decade release in hardcover are just as hard to find, but I found a few. Degas and New Orleans, since I do have a small section on New Orleans and I do have a few things on Degas, I figured why not? 50 cents. At least I didn't see any other stickers that indicated it was more, since this thrift store has now started to put $2.99 on books like a fucking Great Expectations by Dickens and a Penguin Classic. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've always had $3. They put it on cookbooks, but which is expectant, but this not so much. Anyway, that's all. Pretty good haul today. I think that's all I have. Yeah, that's all I got. Goodbye, bruv. Goodbye.